Welcome to the C5 Aircross Hybrid. This is an 8-speed automatic with 180 horsepower, and this is a hybrid. And I'm driving it in electric mode now, and there's no noise.
This is a charging point on the side of the car. If we plug the charger in, so this is not yet plugged in, but you can see where it goes. If we plug this in over here now, there we go, and you can hear it locks. Now it's plugged in, you can see it's now charging, it's flashing green. The little button on the side there is red to let you know that it's locked, and you can't remove it until it's finished charging unless you press the button or disconnect it from the other end. That is how it charges. Car is plugged in and charging, and when you open the door you can see the status on the driver display, and you can see that it shows that there's 10 minutes to complete charge, and it gives you all that information easily available to you. This is the Citroen C5 Aircross Hybrid. This is a brand new car. This is the first hybrid that Citroen have released, 2020 model. This car is a 1.6 litre engine with a electric motor which has a range of up to 31 miles. It's 180 horsepower from the main engine, and then with the electric motor it gives a combine of 222 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. It has a fuel consumption of 201.77 miles per gallon, which is very good, and if you're driving around the town it will last you quite happily. You can drive up to 84 miles an hour on the electric motor alone. Above that, either the car will use combined power with the hybrid mode or will go into petrol engine combustion only. The CO2 emissions are only 32 grams. In terms of charging, you can charge it fully in less than 2 hours based on the 32 amp charging, and you can see the status in the app or on the car, as I showed you already. Got an 8-speed gearbox, and inside the car there's a 12.3 inch digital driver's display and an 8-inch touch display which has Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and tons of assistance features. You can see Citroen's air bumps down here, designed to avoid any damage when you're parking the car or maneuvering. Those are the black art optional upgrades, but you can also have two-tone wheels as well. This car has an automatic electronic tailgate that I can open with my key or with my foot or from inside the car, and inside the boot here there is 720 litres of space. Here's my filming equipment, which is a lot of space, and you can store the electric charging cable that comes with the car underneath the boot false floor. In terms of design, this car is really nicely designed. This particular car is in white. You can see it says it's a hybrid on the back here. It has a very attractive look from the side with the two-tone design to the roof. It's got the roof bars on the top here. Because it's an electric car, there's no panoramic sunroof as you would normally get on the Flare Plus model, which is what this is, but instead it's got a solid roof to reduce the weight. But I would say the contrast makes it look much more handsome, much more aggressive. Maybe you want that, maybe you don't, but I think it looks great.
Welcome to the inside of Citroen C5 Aircross Hybrid. 225 horsepower combined with the electric motor, 31 miles of range, up to 84 miles an hour driving on the electric motor alone. We are going to look at all of the settings in the infotainment system, about all the assistance systems, look at the digital driver's display, and go deep into everything on this car. Let's start with the buttons below the screen. So the first thing you'll see is you've got your seat heating. We've got the button which takes us to our home screen or connected apps. We've got the button which takes it to our phones. We've got the button which takes it to our car settings, our navigation settings, our climate control, music, radio, and then we've got again another seat heating button. So let's go first of all and have a look at Android Auto, because my car is plugged in to my phone. Android Auto on the Citroen C5 Aircross Hybrid. So this is the main screen for Android Auto. You have your Google Maps up there, you've got your widgets for your music. Hey Google, navigate to Wilmoths Citroen Eastbourne.
Navigating to Wilmoths Citroen Eastbourne.
If you're looking for a new or used Citroen, please visit them. They're brilliant. They've sorted out this car for me and the other cars I've reviewed that are Citroen, so please pay them a visit. They will help you and they're great. Navigation works as you would expect on the car. You can see where you're going. I can go into my music. I can talk into it using Google, as you just saw. I've got everything I could need on here. This works the same way for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Let's go to our main options here. So this is the home screen. You can see we've got our applications, connected apps. I can connect the My Citroen app to the car, and because this is a hybrid, I'm able to see the charge status. I'm able to set it so it only charges maybe off-peak times for electricity. I'm also able to see my range and get information about the car. Turn on the air conditioning, so on a hot day it's cool when you get in, or on a cold day it's warm when you get in the car. You're able to do that through the app. Car apps, so let's have a look at that. So this is obviously something on the hybrid only, and you can see right now it's showing off the status of our battery. It says normal. You can see the statistics. It's saying how long it's been charging for. It's showing us the petrol information in miles per gallon, so you can see both your petrol efficiency, economy, and your electric situation. You can see the programming of the charging start time. So you've got a deferred charging time. Like I mentioned, you can do that so it only charges when maybe the electricity is slightly cheaper. So you can set that up here with the time. And e-save, which will adjust the quantity of electric range to be reserved. So if you're worried about running out of electricity, it will reserve a certain amount. It gives you the option of 6 miles or 12 miles or max. And right now it's in off, so that's not happening on this car. When we're driving, the flow will also show the electricity moving between the different parts of the car. If I tap on the phone button, it will take me straight to Android Auto. This is a cool feature of Citroen. If you have Android Auto or CarPlay connected, it will automatically take you to that particular app. If you have it unplugged, then it will take you to your phone settings to dial on the car, which will connect via Bluetooth to your phone. Here we are in CarPlay. You can see it works exactly like CarPlay does. You can have your widget, you can have your music. I can scroll back and forth towards my apps. I can go into Google Maps and see it. So CarPlay works exactly like you would expect. If I press a button below the screen, it takes me through to my phone settings on the car. And now in the connected app section, it shows Apple CarPlay. If I remove Apple CarPlay from here, and then I tap on my phone settings, I can see my calls and I can see my contacts on the normal phone. We've got the built-in navigation. You can use that to navigate. You can change the menu, so you can enter your address, points of interest, you can search, you can adjust your guidance criteria, so it avoids motorways or takes motorways or avoids tolls. So you've got a lot of control over that. You can search by typing into the keyboard. I can search by points of interest. If I tap on that, I can click on Citroen and it will bring up Wilmoths Eastbourne, because that's where this car came from, but it also shows all your nearest Citroen dealerships, of course. If we go back out, navigation, I can change it so it shows me my range for my electric power. So it's showing me that is a range I can go on electric alone, and this is where the charging points are. So there's one here in Eastbourne that I can tap on and it will show me the information. So that's at Waitrose in Eastbourne, or at Charge Your Car, Lower Place, New Haven. So it's showing me the available spots as well, if it's able to do that down below. As you can see here, it's not actually showing for these particular locations for charging, but it can show you that as well. So the map is able to show you those places which you would go to on electric charge, which is handy. And you can change that to 2D. You can change the map to 3D if you want to. So if you're not using your phone, you can use that. I would personally recommend using your phone because you've got Android Auto with Google Maps or CarPlay. Let's go to the car settings. So this car has a lot of assistance features. Let's start and go through some of the features of this car. So right now, automatic headlamp dipping is off. You can turn that on. so that when somebody drives up, it will automatically dip them. Let's turn that on. Parking sensors are on, traction control is on. I can scroll back down here. Those are driving functions, vehicle settings. If I tap on headlights, guide me home lighting, which will adjust how long the lights are on when you walk away. Welcome lighting, which will make the lights flash to let you know it's there. Let's turn it on. And the directional headlamp, which will use the front lighting in turns to light it. Let's look at comfort. Mood lighting on. You can adjust the brightness of the mood lighting, turn it down, turn it to maximum. You can adjust which doors unlock. If the boot unlocks, hands-free opening. So you can use a gesture from your foot to open and close the boot. You can turn the motorized tailgate on and off as well. Going to safety features, active safety brake, which will adjust the alert distance in the risk of a collision. Recommended speed display, so it will show the speed limit to you, so you can know how fast you should be going. Traffic sign recognition, this will recognize the road signs. Let's turn that on. Driver's attention warning, which will let you know if you're losing attention, so when you're getting tired. Let's turn that on as well. Blind spot sensors, which will let you know if there's something in a blind spot as well. Parking, blocking of door mirror folding. So this stops the door mirrors from folding automatically. Right now they automatically fold, and the rear wiper in reverse. You can also tap up here to go to quick settings, audio settings, turn off the screen to see your connectivity, to see if your Wi-Fi is on or how you're connected and what you're connected to, if you're connected to other services. Let's have a look at the audio settings. So I can adjust the loudness, I can adjust the bass, medium, the treble. I can adjust the balance, so where it is in the car. The sound, whether this makes a noise, whether it increases as I drive faster. I can adjust the voice responses volume of the car, and I can change the ringtone from the default bits of the car, which is useful. And I can change the profiles if I want to as well. Going into further settings, we've got instrument panel personalization. This allows me to change the driver's display, and I can change it so it shows me the driving aids and the trip computer or the rev counter or media or even the hybrid flows. So we could do this. So we've now got the hybrid flows and the media. So I can see my media, and I can also see where the car's diverting energy. System settings, I can change the MPG, I can change the temperature settings, I can change other settings here. Screen configuration, I can change the scrolling, I can change the brightness of the screen. So if we go back to car settings, you can see how easy it is. You've got those settings there. It's all very easy to get to and easy to understand. And then we go to our air conditioning, and I can turn the air conditioning. So it's a warm day today, so let's turn the actual temperature down, and I can adjust it like this. I can do the auto. I can adjust where the air goes. Of course, there are buttons underneath here which will let me do that as well. It's auto. Or turn it off, which has a button down below. If we go into music, you can go through the radio, so you can have different sources, radio, Bluetooth, USB, and Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. So that's an overview of the infotainment system. It's very simple to navigate, very easy to understand. Everything's nicely laid out. In this car, even though it's an electric car, it's a really good feature to have, to know that you know where everything is. The reversing camera on the C5 Hybrid is really unique and interesting. I've not seen a camera like this. As you reverse back, it kind of records and saves and fills in the image behind the car. And then when you pull forward, you can see that it's still there. So it's kind of recording what's behind it. Let's have a look at the seats. These are fully adjustable. You can rise them, you can lower them, you can move them forwards and backwards. And they've got lumbar support as well. Welcome to the inside of the Citroen C5 Aircross Hybrid. and you can see it's a really nice place to be. We've got a really solid feel here, soft materials. You can see the main 8-inch infotainment display with the buttons down here that I've already explained. And then down here there's actually a button specifically for the electric settings. If you tap on that, it will automatically take you to the settings for the electric part of the car. So down here we have our buttons for demisting the window, recirculation, back window, front window, turning the air conditioning off, child lock, and this is to do with timing the air conditioning. Obviously the volume knob there, which allows you to turn up and down the volume of the infotainment. One thing which I really like about this is a wireless charging, and as you can see, when I put my phone down, it will automatically charge. So lots of space here, no issues there. When the car is on, that flashes green to let you know as well that it's charging. You've got your USB, standard USB there, and your 12 volt there. Your engine start stop button here, your drive mode selector, your parking button, and then obviously your gear shifter to change gears between drive, neutral, reverse and park as well. You've got 2 cup holders, you've got a nice central armrest. These seats are really nice, they're electric, they're adjustable, fully adjustable. On the steering wheel column you actually have these paddle shifters, which is very interesting to see, and then you've got your lights and your cruise control settings down here, which I was using earlier, and your windscreen wiper settings as well. If we go back to the central infotainment system, you can see you can change between the different designs. So you saw this a bit when I was driving, but I want to show you again here. Minimum mode, which will let you see just minimum. Dials, which will bring up your dials. Driving, which will show your driving assistance settings. Personal, which will be however you set it up. So I set it up for media and the electric flow, or energy flow I should say. And that's it. So you can go between them like that. Very easy, very simple. Nice and easy to read. And the charge eco power gauge at the top there changes as you're driving depending on your mode, as you would have also seen. So interior wise, really nice car, very comfortable. The seats are very comfortable. I've got absolutely tons of space in the front and the back. Welcome to the C5 Aircross Hybrid. This is an 8-speed automatic with 180 horsepower, and this is a hybrid, and I'm driving it in electric mode now, and there's no noise. So this car is a medium-sized off-road car, an SUV, and I'm driving it now through residential areas, and it's just really quiet. There's no noise at all. I'm not using any petrol, and being a hybrid, you don't have any concerns or worries about running out of charge, because it's got a petrol engine and it will kick in above a certain speed and give you that extra power you need, that extra push, or that extra range, because it'll swap over back to its conventionally fueled means of propulsion, and you don't have to worry about the range. So it's the best of both worlds. And with a big car like an SUV as opposed to a smaller car, being a hybrid is even better because you're saving a lot more in terms of fuel. You can plug it in your home, you can charge it overnight, and you can know that you've got the range. And that's the great thing about this. Driving around town like I'm doing now, you'll never hit the range of this car. This car has a range on battery. Right now it's telling me it's 18 miles. I was charged about 95%. I'm never going to use 18 miles driving around the town where I live in. The chances are that most people won't use that, and if they do, they'll only have to go a bit of time on petrol. So you got the best of both worlds. In terms of driving, you've got a nice high driving position. You can see very clearly. I've got a digital display here. I've got my Android Auto or Apple CarPlay in front of me. It's got a really nice quality. I really like the steering wheel. It's kind of squared off. And you know, here I am, I'm stopped at traffic lights. No noise. There's noise from the car in front of me, but no noise from me. And I go off on electric power around the corner. The other thing, of course, is when you're sitting in traffic in a petrol car, you're idling the engine. And you have start-stop, and all new cars have that. And of course, the benefit of start-stop is that you're not using that fuel, the engine isn't turning over, you're not pumping out emissions. But there's a delay between that turning off and turning on. And when it happens at roundabouts or when there's lots of traffic, that can be dangerous. Why can't the cameras figure out that this is a busy roundabout and having the engine turn off now is not a great time? But we don't have that issue in an electric car. Instant torque, and in a hybrid, instant torque, yes, obviously this is not going to be as fast as a Tesla, of course not, but it gives you the best of both worlds. Instant pull away there from the roundabout, no delay, no concerns, really good, really easy. Right, so let's do some off-roading now. It's not really off-roading, but I'm just going to a car park with which isn't paved, and here I am, I'm in the unpaved car park, and you know, I'm in a four-wheel drive car. It's very easy to drive, and I don't feel the bumps, I don't feel any issues here. So what are my impressions of the Citroen C5 Aircross Hybrid? It's really comfortable to drive, it's got good suspension, it's got loads of amazing technology. I love driving around, not having to put petrol into the car. I've been driving around town and nothing is there, but it's nice to know that I don't need to have a charge. It's got a really nice interior, the buttons feel high quality, the interior feels high quality, the steering wheel is fantastic. The camera, which when you're reversing actually shows you kind of like a 360 view. It's not a 360 camera, but it kind of remembers where you've been and shows you in relation to that, which is clever. It's got all the comfort features you can want in terms of, it's got keyless entry, you can open the boot with your foot. It's just a really nice car, and it's got these cool scoops on the bonnet which look really cool. And you know, considering this is the electric hybrid car of the range, I would actually say maybe it's the most sporty looking out of the C5 range as well. So this is a fantastic car. If you're interested in a C5, I would seriously look at getting a C5 Hybrid, because I think you'll find that it's worth the extra cost, and also it will reward you back with immense pleasure in terms of savings for fuel and also getting around town with great ease. Don't forget to visit Wilmoths Citroen Eastbourne. They can help you check out one of these cars or any other car. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment and subscribe.